The prepper's blanket. They literally made one just for preppers. And there it is. SOL made one. Everybody buys these. I bought one. This thing has got to be, I don't know, 5 years old. 5 years old. And a lot of people say, well, it's better than nothing. These tinfoil blankets. Oh, I had a subscriber send me a t-shirt. And his name's Eric, and he runs the Ugly News Network. I'll have a link in the bottom. You can go check him out. And he does quite a few videos on politics that make you think. And he sent me this t-shirt, which I thought was hilarious. People in sleeping bags are like soft tacos. I thought that was hilarious. Go check them out. Like I said, links in the bottom. So, why are these things, like I'm going to tell you, they're garbage, okay? Pure garbage. And everybody's going to go like, oh no, they're better than nothing. Look. This has never been opened. Some are silver, some are this color, you know. And let me open this up for you. This thing's been in the package for like 5 years. And I'm actually going to throw it in the garbage after this. But, oh, I can't even get this open. It is this one's a little bit soft, so I guess it's made a little bit better. You know. Kind of stuck together. Yeah, that's weird. I don't think it's supposed to be like that. Okay. It's coming apart now. Okay, there we go. There is our... I could use this for photography, actually, to redirect the light. Put this on a piece of cardboard. It'd probably be a lot better than using it for a sleeping bag. So why do I say these are garbage? Well, they're noisy. Okay? They say it's need to see you. Now I could see using this, like this orange and this silver, not for a prepper situation, but for survival. I mean, if you're trying to flag down a plane or you're trying to get somebody's attention, I mean, this is a very light item if you're carrying it just in case. Now they say you can make a tent with this. You can use this as a blanket. I mean, let's think about this for a minute, okay? If you're prepping, grid's down or something's happened, and you're trying to get home, or the so-called bug out, and this is what you put in your backpack because it's light, you say, hey, I can make a shelter with it. And let's talk about shelter for a sec. Now, yes, you can make a shelter with this. Probably last you 1 or 2 nights, good enough, right? For staying out of the rain. Is it going to keep the bugs away? No. You're going to have an end. If you make this into kind of like a teepee, you're going to have an end open at each ends. The bugs are going to chew you alive. You're going to wish you didn't even have this. You're going to wish you went and picked up some cheap screen tent off of eBay for like 10 or 20 bucks. Now, I think people lose the idea of prepping. I think when they say, oh, okay, you're a prepper, you need to go out and start racking up that credit card, you need to really think about what you're doing with your money. Okay? Now, if you're picking this up to go backpacking and have it there, something light to call for help, great idea. But use it for just that, for signaling. Like I could open this up, I could spread this between 2 trees, for example, hang it up, and then drop my pack and walk down to the river with my containers, take a compass reading before I go, and on my way back, I'm going to see where I dropped my pack and where that position is. This way I don't have to walk all the way down some big mountain. This comes in handy for this. But you are not going to fold this back up and put it back in that little package like they think it is. Give me a break. Maybe if you had a couple people, you might. So, why don't I like these? And like I said, they're good for signaling. But then you only got, one purpose, really. The whole idea of prepping is you're prepping to be comfortable. Think about this. Okay, if I've got a get-home bag I've put together, and I know I got to walk 2 or 3 days to get home, and all of a sudden, I don't know, an EMP or something happens, and I got to leave my vehicle, and I'm hightailing it home, then Basically, I would want some form, and it doesn't have to be expensive. It could be the cheapest tent there is, just to hold off the rain and make sure the bugs don't chew me alive. Now, I'm in Tennessee. Now, if you're in some place a lot different, you got to look at your own environments. Okay? But let's say it's wintertime. I would concentrate more on my quilt. I literally would spend, if I was in the wintertime and I was, say, Minnesota minus 30 below, I would be looking at some $200, $300, $400 quilts that are made out of goose down that are super light and easy to carry. And I wouldn't spare any expense on being warm. That's just the way I am. And that's the whole idea of being a prepper. You're prepping to be comfortable, but you're also prepping where you're not going to end up dead. Can you imagine, look how thin this is. Can you imagine being cuddled up in this? I mean, really? And it's what, minus 10? I don't think so. Look, oh, look at that. Look at that. I didn't even press on it. Look at that. I mean, and they say I can make a tent out of that. Maybe you can. Maybe you're down your boom, but when I just do this, okay, and it rips that easy, and I got to wrap a paracord around that, and I got to put a stake to the ground. I mean, come on. These things were gimmicks just to make money off people, and they made money off me. That's all they were. The whole idea of preparing is to be comfortable on your run, whatever you're doing. If it's an actual get-home bag, then you're going to think about, I have to endure the weather, but you need to break it down. Okay, like water's number one, so a good purifier. Good shoes, good socks, change of socks, Leco tape in case you get blisters, because your feet are your transportation, you got to take care of them. I would say even have, 3 pairs of socks in your get-home bag, so in case you ended up getting your feet wet, you could dry them off with, say, a shemagh, put some dry socks on, and continue on your way. And we used to do a little trick back where I'm from. Our boots used to get wet all the time in the winter because we had snow all the time. And we would take the bread bags, we would slip them over our feet and shove them inside our snowmobile boots when our snowmobile boots got wet so our feet wouldn't get wet. So maybe even carry some type of bags that you could slip over your foot that your shoe gets all wet and you change your socks. I mean, just some basic common sense items and break it down. I need shelter. I need water. My shoes is what I'm walking in. I don't want to be cold. So when you're walking, make sure if you start sweating, take some layers off. Make sure you got 2 or 3 layers when you're walking in the winter. You don't want to wear one big coat. You wear one big coat and you're sweating when you're walking, you're going to kill yourself. It's not good for you. So I think these are garbage. I would not want to make a tent out of this. I would not want to try and lay in it. I don't want to waste my energy of an hour and a half trying to make something with this thing, or even wrapping it around me. I mean, listen to this. That keep me up all night. Now, I don't want to listen to that noise. I want to turn on I want a good night's sleep. So the whole idea of prepping is don't buy garbage. Okay, buy something that I'm going to be in a tent away from the bugs. I'm going to be maybe I need a good tarp to put over top of my tent for the extra rain protection. Think about your shelter, your water, and what you're walking in. I mean, sure, a couple energy bars will make life a little bit easier, but food is not really needed. You can go a long time without food. So, but a lot of people are throwing this in there, even throwing 3 or 4 of them in there, and they're saying, okay, I can make a shelter, I can use one as a blanket. If you rip this like I just showed you, I mean, really? I'm not even pulling that hard. Where'd your shelter just go? It's gone. If you had some type of cheap screen tent and a tarp, if the tent did get damaged, you'd still have your tarp. I don't like being chewed up by bugs, but I really don't think this is the answer. And the biggest thing is, probably I haven't touched on, is look at this. It shines, man. Look at the shininess. If we're running a get-home bag and we're trying to get home, I would think we're trying to do this kind of quietly, sneaky, camo. We don't want people seeing us. I mean, I don't want somebody seeing me sleeping with this thing on me like a beacon saying, I'm over here. Come kill me. Come take my stuff. I mean, I think I would want to be looking into a green tent. I would be wanting to look into a brown tent. I want to be looking into something that I can blend in a little bit, put some branches around it. And I know when I shut those eyes and I get my beauty sleep that I'm going to wake up in the morning. Now, if I've got a couple people with me, of course, one can stand guard for 4 hours while the other one sleeps, and back and forth if you want. But I mean, these things, they use the term, I think they say emergency blanket. I'll probably give these things fancy names. Emergency blanket. So in other words, we're not going to use this unless it's in a complete emergency. And it says, you know, I can make a shelter. I can make a bed out of it. This thing is so thin and so ridiculous. Like I said, I'm throwing this in the garbage. I wasted my money. Don't waste yours. The whole idea of preparing and prepping is to make sure you're comfortable in whatever is thrown at you. You have the time to prepare. It's not like you're walking in the store, this is sitting on the shelf, something happened and you got no choice, grab it. You know, you have time to think about what I'm putting in my get-home bag. So you have time to think about, I want a nice screen tent. It could be a cheap one. And I want to keep away from the bugs. I want to be warm, go buy an expensive quilt. Don't spare anything on warmth, especially if you got winter there. This is just smart stuff to do. And when you do it, think about how you can just, look at it, it sticks to me. It's ridiculous. You know, a little bit of sweat on your body, and look at that. There's no way that's going to be comfortable to sleep in when you wrap that around you. There's no way. There's nothing good about this thing at all. So there's my 2 cents on an emergency blanket. Everybody wants to make videos on how great they are. I don't think anybody's telling you the truth. I've had this thing for 5 years on my shelf or so. I've never used it for anything. I've been backpacking out 100 times, if not more. It sits there. I mean, the package screams at me. You know, it's red. And I never take it off the shelf and shove it in your backpack. You know what I'm shoving in my backpack? First thing I'm thinking is I need some nice shelter. And then I'm looking at it and I'm saying, okay, I need something comfortable to sleep on. I'm looking at my pad, so I'm not sleeping on the hard ground. You know, because most of your insulation is lost through the ground. But I've never picked this up and put it in my pack ever. It's not even in my get-home bag. Why? Why do I want to put this garbage in when I have time to prepare to put something nice and comfortable inside, you know, my bag instead of having to suffer? There's no reason for it. You have time. Save a little bit of money. Buy a little bit better stuff. Use your common sense. Don't follow these people tell you to buy every little thing. Oh, this is a good idea. Look at this. It's cheap. It's only $10. $10 a waste of money. $10 that'll kill you. Get some decent stuff. All right, catch you guys on the next one. And don't forget to check out Eric at the Ugly News Network. People in sleeping bags are like soft tacos, guys. See you later.